correspondent Idris Loan, who's there in Srinagar. Idris, as we've been discussing in the past as well, all the shelling which is taking place across the LOC, tensions have majorly escalated across LOC. Till now it was only small arms fire, but now that we know of Operation Sindoor as well, and on the same night, whether it happened before or whether it happened after, but as of now we know that today has been the 15th day since that Pahalgam terror attack, and while India was counting the days, the Indian armed forces were preparing where they're going to attack and who they're going to attack, and exactly like the Indian Prime Minister had mentioned, India is going to carry out the attack and give a befitting reply to those who carried out the Pahalgam terror attack and their backers. But as of now, staying in Srinagar at this point, you saw jets scrambling over you overhead, and you've also heard the shelling which is taking place. Give us more. You're very close to the border. What more have you picked up?
Well, Shivan, at the moment, we're still hearing that there is continuous firing going on at the line of control in the northern part of Kashmir, in Kupwara as well as in Baramulla district, while as there has been ceasefire violation from the Pakistani side in the Poonch and Rajauri belt, which was confirmed by the Indian Army, where we also heard that one lady has been critically injured during the crossfire, and she was shifted basically to a local hospital where her condition is said to be critical, while as there could be few more injuries to the civilian population, let me tell you, from because of the firing from the Pakistani side. On the other hand, if we talk about North Kashmir's Kupwara, Handwara, Baramulla district, people who are living very close to the LOC have been asked to move out, have been evacuated from the forward areas. They've been asked to move to the safer places. They've been also asked if there are some individual bunkers very close to their locations. They've been asked to shift into those because Pakistan has been continuously shooting and shelling towards the Indian side. We've seen also in the Jammu division there has been continuous firing from the Pakistani side, shelling going on, wherein on not only on the Indian armed forces or the Indian army post, but also on the civilian population, in which a few civilians have got injured. One lady critically injured, being treated at one of the hospitals very close to the Poonch area. So we've seen this whole escalation taking place after the Indian armed forces carried out that strike at 9 different locations on the terror camps across the line of control in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir as well as in Punjab of the Pakistan. We've also heard that after that there has been no stop in the firing incidents at multiple locations on the line of control from the Pakistani side. That is how they are retaliating at the moment from across the border at different locations in northern part of Kashmir as well as in the Jammu division, firing continuously going on. But Indian Army has also said that they are giving a befitting reply to these violations. We've seen this is the 13th consecutive night, Shivan, where Pakistani forces have violated ceasefire at multiple places. But today, from the small arms fire, they've gone basically to the shelling, where not only are they targeting the Indian Army post, but the civilian population also living close to the line of control.
That is a big development, Idris, and a major escalation, because till now, till the ceasefire violations which Pakistan was doing on a daily basis for, of course, it has been known very clearly that Pakistan carries out these ceasefire violations as a cover to other terrorist factions to get inside to the Indian side of the border. But as of now, we've seen today, this is a major escalation because it's no longer small arms fire. The big guns are out, artillery fire is taking place, and even civilians have been injured, as you mentioned clearly. At this point, we've been tracking this for a couple of hours now. It's 5:10 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and the shelling, as you mentioned, is still carrying on. It has not ceased. Till now, we saw shelling taking place, small arms fire taking place for a brief period, and we would get news in the morning. That would be the news alert that ceasefire violation took place again in the wee hours of the night. But as you mentioned, it is still taking place. The big guns are out. Artillery fire is taking place, and it's being carried out from both sides. Even civilians have been injured so far. Is this taking face-to-face conflict turn? Is what it is becoming at this point after Operation Sindoor, which Indian armed forces have carried out?
Well, absolutely, Shivan. It looks like that only. It seems to be the first reaction of the Pakistan Army to basically the precision attack that Indian armed forces carried out across various places in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Pakistan. This seems to be the first reaction coming from the Pakistan Army that they're violating ceasefire violation. They're violating ceasefire at multiple places across line of control in Kashmir division as well as in the Jammu division. We've seen not only are they targeting the Indian armed forces and the bunkers placed on the forward posts, but also the civilian population that lives very close to the line of control. We've seen that the Indian armed forces have evacuated people from the line of control who are living very close to the line of control during the night only after Pakistan started the ceasefire violation yet again on the 13th consecutive night. People have been moved to safer places and also requested to move away on their own also to the safer places, and if there are individual bunkers in those places, they've been asked to shift to those areas as well. It seems that this is the first response from the Pakistan Army, not only targeting the military setups on the line of control, but also the civilian population, and that's one of the reasons people are moving out from those areas. Whether we'll have to wait and watch whether there would be much more escalation on the line of control and international border from the Pakistani army. But let me tell you that the Indian army is all ready, is all set. They have been alert from the last 13 consecutive days on the line of control and international border. Both Indian Army border security forces who are deployed there are completely ready and are giving a befitting reply to the ceasefire violations that are being done by the Pakistan army at multiple locations across the northern part of Kashmir as well as in the Jammu division.
Idris, as you mentioned, the evacuations which are taking place for the civilians, they've been asked to leave those regions, and you mentioned, listed out the regions as well. Where exactly are the people, are the evacuees being taken at this point? How far away from the valley are they being taken? If you can give us an understanding of that.
Well, Shivan, during the night we were told that people were asked to go to the individual bunkers that are set up mostly in the areas which are close to the line of control, whether it's the Jammu division or the Kashmir division. We've seen in the past also, especially before 2021 when the ceasefire agreement was signed between the two countries. Before that, ceasefire violations were like happening on a daily basis at that point of time also, and that's one of the reasons that the government were put in action, and they made the bunkers in these areas which are very close to the line of control. So the first reaction whenever there used to be ceasefire violation was for people living in those areas to move into those bunkers, and that's what we have heard this time also, that all the people who are very close to the line of control were asked to move into those bunkers first. And with the first light now, as it's morning, the first light is here, so people would be asked to move from those areas to the safer places. If we talk about Kupwara and Baramulla, they would be asked to move towards the town, especially which are further away from the line of control area. Security forces also in the Jammu division have done the same, because we've seen in the Jammu division not only the military setup or the bunkers in the forward post have been made target by the Pakistani army, but the civilian population is also being targeted there. That's one of the reasons we are seeing a few injuries to the locals, especially to the women in the area. One woman has been critically injured. She's been shifted to the hospital where her condition is said to be very, very critical. So, but the security forces on the line of control, on alert, they have two jobs. One, give a befitting reply to the Pakistan Army's ceasefire violations, and on the other hand, they also have to make sure that all the civilian population living close to the line of control and international border is safe, and they are moved to safer places as soon as possible.